Welcome, dear friends. Today we journey into the life of one of the most beloved saints in history, St. Francis of Assisi, the little poor man who changed the church and the world through humility, peace, and love. Born into wealth, Francis gave it all up to follow Christ, leaving us a legacy of simplicity, joy, and care for creation. In this one-hour documentary, we will walk through his life, his radical conversion, the founding of the Franciscan order, his love for nature, his union with Christ through the stigmata, and the timeless lessons he offers us today. Francis was born Giovanni di Pietro de Bernardin in 1181 or 1182 in Assisi, Italy, to a wealthy cloth merchant. As a young man, he loved parties, fine clothes, and dreamed of becoming a knight. But God had another plan. His dreams of glory were cut short when he was captured in war and fell sick. During these trials, Francis began to hear a different call, one that would change his life forever. One day, while praying in the small ruined church of San Damiano, Francis heard Christ speak from the crucifix. "Francis, rebuild my church, which you see is falling into ruin." Taking the message literally, Francis began to rebuild small churches stone by stone. His father was furious at his new way of life. In a dramatic moment, Francis renounced his inheritance before the bishop, stripped of his fine clothes, and declared God alone as his father. From then on, he lived in total poverty, serving lepers and begging for food, yet radiating joy. Soon others were drawn to Francis' way of life. They saw in him a man who lived the gospel radically with simplicity and joy. Together they formed a brotherhood. Calling themselves the Friars Minor, they lived without possessions, preached peace, and served the poor. Their movement grew rapidly. In a powerful vision, Pope Innocent III saw Francis holding up the Lateran Basilica, symbolizing how Francis would help renew the church. The Pope gave approval, and thus the Franciscan order was born. Francis saw the beauty of God reflected in all creation. He called the sun his brother, the moon his sister, the birds his companions. He preached even to animals, reminding people that everything in creation praises the Creator. His Canticle of the Sun remains one of the most beautiful hymns to God's glory in creation. Today, Pope Francis' encyclical Laudato Si takes its name from Francis' song, reminding us of our duty to care for the earth. In 1224, while praying on Mount Laverna, Francis received an extraordinary gift, the stigmata, the wounds of Christ on his hands, feet, and side. This was a sign of his deep union with Christ's suffering. In his final years, despite illness and blindness, Francis praised God joyfully. He welcomed death as a sister, singing, "Welcome, Sister Death." On October 3, 1226, Francis passed away in Assisi, leaving behind a legacy of holiness that continues to inspire the world. Francis was canonized just 2 years after his death. Today he is remembered as the patron saint of animals, ecology, and peace. His life teaches us to embrace simplicity over materialism, to love and serve the poor, to respect creation as God's gift, to live joyfully as children of God. St. Francis' message is as urgent today as it was 800 years ago. St. Francis of Assisi, poor, humble, joyful, a true mirror of Christ. His life calls us to conversion, to simplicity, and to love. May we, too, learn to see all of creation as brothers and sisters, and may we follow Francis on the path of peace and holiness. Let us close in prayer. St. Francis of Assisi, pray for us.